It's Father's Day, so this episode is for dads.
Trump got indicted on 37 federal charges. A new record!
Joe and Hunter Biden are allegedly being blackmailed by a Ukrainian company, and now we're giving Ukraine tons of money. What a coincidence.
All this and more obey.
The Babylon Bees Father's Day Special.
What?
Love it.
Morro Bay?
Like the...
Great place where you see sea otters.
Like sea otters. Like
All
that's like
this and
Central
sea
County.
otters.
Yeah.
All this
Bay.
and John Steinbeck.
Yeah. Now you're getting it.
I really want to know how your mind works, Travis.
All this and the grapes of wrath.
All this and Mormons. Mormons?
I think we've done Mormons before.
Oh, have
We did Mormons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Mormons.
We should do that whenever we have a Mormon on.
Kyle, you have space sunglasses.
Tell us about those space sunglasses.
sunglasses. Oh, you know,
They
I
are
just thought
space.
They look cool. They're kind of not hippie.
Hipster.
Not really hipster. They're just like,
You were just trying to use the word hip as an adjective?
yeah, just
Like
hip.
people haven't done in years?
People don't say hip
I don't
anymore.
know that people say things are hip anymore.
They're the
do
same
they?
ones that you
I'm
wear
hip.
if you say like, do you even surf, bro?
It's
that kind
very
of thing.
dude bro looking.
Dude, bro.
Yeah.
Do you even exegete, bro?
They're blenders. It's a San Diego sunglass company.
One of my friends made a
You can use
t-shirt.
code B for 10% off.
Oh, that's where this is all leading.
It's good.
That code will not work, as far as we know.
Wait, so no? I thought that was a real endorsement.
No.
It's not. Oh, okay.
that would've been
You
great.
tricked even me.
Yeah.
But you can get 20% off.
I don't
with
think they would
promo
associate
code
with it. I
B.
think they make like Pride sunglasses and stuff.
You're wearing, are you wearing woke sunglasses in here?
I am.
We only wear base,
That's why we're making an alternative.
base sunglasses.
Seth's
Jeremy's.
sunglasses.
Oh,
Not Jeremy. Seth's.
His name is Kyle.
Kyle's.
We should make our stuff, but it's like Seth's Jeremy's sunglasses, like Ruth's
just
Chris
spell-
Steakhouse. But
or just
we'll
spell
make our
Jeremy
own
different.
non-woke company, but it's still Jeremy's.
We didn't run it
Jeremy's.
as a headline, but I liked your pitch about Jeremy Boring creating like
Oh,
Jeremy's tuck
A
friendly.
non-woke line of tuck-friendly
yes.
swimsuits.
Jeremy's tuck friendly.
These are base transgender
like they're the exact
swimsuits.
same product, but it's based. That's great.
Tuck-friendly diapers.
Yeah.
I don't really buy into the like you have to buy the conservative version of everything unless it's the Babylon Bee. Buy our stuff. But I'm not really a big fan of that. I mean, obviously, like
I'll boycott a company if they're actively doing
Right.
something wrong. I don't, as much as I disagree with it, I don't boycott a company if it's just that company gives money to causes that I disagree
I'll
with.
also boycott a company if they don't have anything good that I like.
Yeah.
if I just
It's very
if I'm not
easy. It's
the
very
target market.
convenient, you know, because like I didn't drink Bud
Yeah.
Light much in the first place.
Right.
I was more of a Walmart person than a Target person. So if it's already easy, I'm like, yeah,
I would say that
I'll
actually-
just cut out the few times that I
Right.
When I met you, I thought this guy's more of a Walmart person.
I exude
Kinda
Walmart.
have that.
Yeah. Except my weight. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not as
And the,
large as some Walmart.
the level of
customers.
robing that you have.
Yeah.
Your clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone's topless, they're either at Walmart or they're on the White House lawn. That's true. If there's a topless dude.
Oh, topless. Well, usually with dudes, you don't call it topless, do you? You just call
Well,
it
You
shirtless.
do if
Well, if
they
it-
think
if a
they're not a
trans-
dude.
Oh,
if
there we
they
go.
have
If it's a
fake-
trans, you'd say topless.
Yeah.
You didn't see this on the White House lawn.
Or if they don't have tops.
I wasn't.
to
I haven't been to
spend.
the
There was
White
a
House
topless
lawn
trans person
recently.
on the White House lawn this week.
Oh, a topless trans.
At the Pride event.
Okay. So this was okay.
This is a reference.
This is a man as a woman.
I think it was a man with fake boobs.
It was
right?
a man that had
he had fake
the
boobs.
fake, yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was topless.
And he looked like a woman, like he was all transed.
He was all.
And there was a
he
picture
all
of him with
surgeried up.
Biden earlier in the day, I think. or
Yeah, he
something, right?
was like arm
Posed-
around
he posed
Biden
with
and smiling.
Biden, and then he ran around topless on the White House.
Man, if
I
I
don't-
were a trans dude, I'd get 3. I would just get 3.
Like
Remember,
the,
like
Like Total Recall?
like Total Recall. Because you can.
And they'd have to celebrate it
And
as,
then,
as
and then
wonderful and
they'd
beautiful.
add that as another gender. We'd be
they
up
would.
to 458 or whatever
true.
we're up to
Call
now.
it the tri-boob.
Yeah. I identify as a non-binary tri-boob, demisexual.
Well, let's shift the topic to men that don't have boobs. It's Father's Day. weekend.
Some men have moves.
Yeah,
Some men have
Oh,
moves. Did
that's
you guys see the
probably
comments about my Satan sketch? It was hurtful.
I think you mentioned it on the last podcast. Like, I think you've been talking about this for a while.
It seems to be weighing heavy on you.
Deeply wounded, and it's gone. I've stopped eating since then.
It wasn't your fault. It was framed weird with like the cloak and stuff.
I agree, but still.
So
Next
it
time.
did kind of look like boobs.
I just do think. I think Satan next time is going to be like, I heard you. I've heard you.
I've listened.
I fixed the problem.
I'm doing P90X now.
Tony Horton's down here finally.
Next time, we don't comment on it. You're just wearing a sports bra next time. But we're going to look at some stories from subscribers about their dads. We'll talk about fatherhood. It's a Father's Day especial. So hit like, subscribe, and click the little bell to turn on notifications and keep up with all our podcasts on YouTube. You can find our Babylon Bee podcast page on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, become a subscriber. BabylonBee.com/plans. Use code podcast for 20% off. And then you get the entire podcast. And the most intimate moments always come in the subscriber exclusive lounge.
Check out those
Very, very intimate.
Very intimate.
moments.
Intimate moments.
Kyle, who are you?
I'll reveal who I am in the subscriber lounge.
All right.
All right,
Stick around.
Let's talk about what's in the news. Dads like news.
Hot on the heels of the second largest bank failure in U.S. history and the 8th interest rate hike within a 12-month period, 186 more banks are at risk of collapsing. Your bank could be next unless the Fed does what they just did back in March and prints $300 billion out of thin air, making your dollar worthless. Not to mention the recession risk that could have a significant impact on your investment and retirement accounts. Take our advice and protect your financial future with something real, like gold and silver, from my friends at Allegiance Gold. Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver, and if you prefer, you can have it delivered securely right to your front door. Since the beginning of time, there is only one universal currency that is always of value, and that's gold. Allegiance Gold has the highest ratings in the industry, 5 stars with TrustLink, a AAA rating with the Business Consumer Alliance, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can invest with confidence because of the quality and service of Allegiance Gold. Get up to $5,000 in free silver on a qualifying purchase when you visit protectwithbee.com today. That's protectwithbee.com. Or give them a call at 844-790-9191.
What's in the news this week?
So the first news is that Trump was indicted on 37 federal charges related to document handling and obstruction of justice, and he was arraigned and pled not guilty in a Miami courthouse this week. So there's a wonderful picture that came out of the bathroom, one of the bathrooms in Mar-a-Lago.
All his boxes full of classified documents sitting around his toilet with a golden chandelier above it.
The golden chandelier. This is just proof that I knew Mar-a-Lago was probably going to be gaudy, but seeing like the frame of that mirror,
It looks
right
how you
there,
would
like,
think.
it's like and the marble on the ground, like all that stuff. You can tell this is a gaudy.
This is
a gaudy spot.
this. It looks how you would think a Mar-a-Lago bathroom would look, except maybe the toilet just looks like a normal toilet.
And look at those boxes. Fancy.
Yeah, that's how I think boxes would look.
I love banker boxes.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
banker boxes are pretty cool.
houses like that in Azusa I've been to.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that's weird to me, though, is that in this picture, it's obviously a ton of documents, a ton. But when they did this FBI raid in the past, they didn't really mention that there's just boxes everywhere. They just mentioned, oh, he had some things, and then nothing came of it.
Yeah.
So why now, all of a sudden, are we seeing these pictures?
Because they never went into that bathroom. They finally got to that bathroom.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't go in there
never
until
look
someone
in-
lights a match.
Someone was in there at the time. They're like, knock, knock, just a minute.
Trump
Be done soon.
Just a minute, I'll be done.
I said, hold on. The worst.
What are you doing in there?
And
You
it's
not
the
hiding
worst,
documents.
It's the worst violation of etiquette. Knock on a public bathroom door. It's just, I hate that.
Ding, ding.
We could do a headline, Donald Trump takes 3-hour dump to keep boxes private and bathroom. Still not done. I'll just a few more minutes. You'll have to come back some other time.
This is a food baby.
Yeah, no knock warrants are okay, but you cannot just bust into a bathroom.
It's a 9-pounder.
Oh, man. So a lot of people are saying that the allegations turned out to be more serious than they thought, including Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, and Bill Barr Well, they're the people you would think would say that, I guess. And yeah.
I think they probably did think it was that serious.
Yeah. This is shocking and outrageous.
Yeah.
Look at all those boxes.
But you got to think that, like, if you had 1,800 boxes of stuff, maybe there are some things in there that shouldn't have been there that are not that are supposed to be secret.
I think it's definitely bad. I don't like that Trump handled the documents this way, and I think it's especially bad. One of the worst allegations is that he showed a secret military plan to attack Iran to some writer that he was talking to.
Hey, look at this thing.
I think it is. It's extremely careless and it's reckless. I think you could say that it's bad, but then when you're charging him with these crimes, it does seem like an uneven application of justice compared to what Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton have done.
Yeah.
They're not all identical, but they each have their own, what we call it, details of the way they each mishandled this stuff that makes it unique. And it's just crazy that they're coming down on Trump like this and ignoring the others.
And this seems almost a fault of the transition process between presidents, really. Because why does he even have all this stuff? How is he able to just move everything? I just don't get that. I mean, there's all this.
They're probably allowed to take things that are, their own personal business or whatever from their time in office.
One of the boxes says Mal bedroom. That probably doesn't have
Mac. Mac?
Well, I think that's one of Trump's, his claims and part of his defense strategy is that under the Presidential Records Act, you are pretty much allowed to take what you want. Now they're saying that doesn't apply to classified documents. Yeah. And it is crazy that some of the charges are under the Espionage Act, which I think this is all very careless and reckless, but there was no actual harm done. It's not like he was trying to expose secrets to nefarious people.
Now, when they came in to look for these, did he hold them back when he was, or did he release all the
Well, that was when they raided.
They got those.
Originally, they were in communication.
They were talking to him, and they said, you have these documents.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
They said you had these documents.
And then his lawyers were going back and forth, and he was told, well, you have to hold on to this stuff. And then some of the recordings that have come out now are him talking with his lawyers about, well, how do we handle this? And he asks one of them, he says Hillary Clinton's lawyer did a good job. Because they got rid of the documents. Mm-hmm. And then it was during all those deliberations that was it the FBI that raided then? Yeah, the FBI when this raid happened, and they went in and seized them rather than going through the process.
Yeah,
just to make the point.
One of the kind of arguments that they're making is that they were talking to the National Archives and they were cooperating, and they said, well, what do you want us to do? Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, just make sure the doors are locked to those areas.
So he put him in the bathroom.
And locked
there is a lock on the
bathroom door. That's
They'll be fine in here.
But we'll see what happens here. He sent out a fundraising email saying that he faces 400 years in prison.
Well, that is the total of all these charges that he's facing.
I could spend the next 400 years
really.
in jail. Was his line. So this segment has been brought to you by DeSantis for President 2024.
No, vote Trump. Or Vivek, because Vivek's going to pardon him. Did you see that speech?
Or Mike Pence.
No, I didn't see that.
Vivek went out right after all these charges and gave a big speech where he vowed to pardon Trump if he's convicted and challenged every other person running for president to make the same promise.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sure Trump will pardon himself, too.
No, that would be legendary. If Trump goes to jail, still gets elected president,
that's it. I'm voting Trump.
Himself,
my mind has been changed.
Mm-hmm. Just the most legendary thing that's ever happened.
I don't think
that'd be God mode. He got around it, for sure.
I don't think we know too much about the arraignment yet, because I think that was already scheduled and they were in Miami the other day. But I would just love to imagine that Trump shows up with like an envelope postmarked from before he ended his presidency, saying, "I hereby pardon."
Yes,
it's already done.
Yeah,
he did. He anticipated this.
You know what else dads want? More politics.
Oh, dads love politics.
Yeah.
Very daddy.
My dad hates it.
So
Senator Grassley says a Burisma exec who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden kept 17 recordings of their conversations as an insurance policy.
An insurance policy against what, Kyle?
Earthquakes?
Tornadoes.
Oh, if there's an earthquake, I'm releasing these tapes right now.
Insurance and insurance policy. That's what you see on movies. That's like what you say. This is just an insurance policy.
Yeah. So you have dirt on them.
It's in a lockbox at the airport.
Yeah.
Reminder.
Burisma is the company in Ukraine that Hunter was on the board for. And allegedly both Joe and Hunter Biden were given $5 million each to serve the interests of Burisma. This would have happened during Joe's tenure as vice president. Senator Grassley claimed the FBI document on these facts are still being heavily redacted and censored, and called on the intelligence agencies to show their work on how they did or did not investigate this matter. And so Grassley got this from the whistleblower because the actual details of these recordings were redacted from the documents they were shown.
So do these recordings exist? Is that what they're saying?
They allegedly exist. That's all of this is alleged, which, it's one of those things where it is a big scandal if it's true, but we still don't know whether any of this is true or not. But what's odd about the whole thing is that when they were given the redacted version of this FBI document, it's unclear why they would redact this part, because they say they want to redact it to hide, confidential sources and that stuff.
Didn't they redact the $5 million each, like the payment?
I don't know if they redacted that part or not.
Because I could see them wanting to.
But it seems like they're showing, this redacted form of the document that has things that don't really need to be redacted in it.
That seems to be a lot of government documents are redacted, and you're like, why is this redacted?
Yes, it's like they're just keeping stuff secret that they don't want you to know about.
Right.
But also, they redact. I probably like randomly so that you don't know what parts are important, what parts aren't important. I imagine. I think this is probably a strategy. Like, well, just redact the fact that this happened at a Starbucks.
Well, and the other interesting thing is in these recordings, one of the phrases that's allegedly used is the phrase money for the big guy again, which is the same phrase that was used in the China emails.
Yeah, that's true.
And, there's the theory that it refers to Joe Biden. If not Joe Biden, who else could that possibly be? It's got, and also, it pretty much has to be him.
That's how Hunter refers to his father in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Have you guys ever seen that Onion video where there's like the general addressing Congress and he has to redact parts, but they keep redacting the wrong parts in the document pretty much? Like he's like, in the event of a laser-eyed monster redacted. And like they're trying to redact that part, but they accidentally redact the other parts. It's pretty wonderful.
I like
you guys should see it.
It does sound wonderful. Roll the tape.
It was
We should.
it was awesome.
That was awesome.
I like
And
the
another
way,
story about that, I think I've told this before, but I had a pastor of mine that showed me that video and he thought it was real. And he's like, you have to watch this. This is so crazy. He's like, what else could that be? It's like aliens, right?
Was the pastor an old lady?
No, he was
An old grandma?
a man, because only a man can be
A pastor?
a pastor.
but was he an old man?
No.
Man, you and the SBC.
Yeah. And the Bible.
Yeah, there's that verse.
You know what else dads like?
The Bible.
And houses.
Owning houses.
Oh, they love owning a house.
That's good. All right.
I don't know what this means, but it is 2023.
Because you can't buy a house anymore.
Dads like to own houses, but it's 2023. Even if you can afford a house, you can be locked out of your own house for being suspected of being a racist. I saw this story. I don't know what to make of it.
I don't know about this one.
An Amazon delivery driver attempted to deliver a package to a man's house, and his doorbell issued an automated response. Excuse me, can I help you? The driver had earbuds in at the time, and he claimed the homeowner made a racist remark through the doorbell camera.
Can we try
Amazon
to
took
guess
action,
what
and
that
the man's
was?
Amazon account was deactivated, and all his Echo devices became logged out. So he used Amazon devices to lock and unlock his doors, so he was locked out of his house.
So Amazon controls, they can shut off your...
Because they can lock your Amazon account.
Apparently,
So they can
happens
shut
to
off
be
all the
what-
smart devices that run your house
Right.
then?
Yeah, they kind of incidentally
geez.
controlled it. They
They didn't mean to lock him out of his house.
Oh, okay.
They locked him out of his Amazon account,
yeah.
which happened to control all the locks in his
Oh,
house.
okay.
So maybe this isn't the story.
They didn't kill the man. They just shut off the oxygen tank he was breathing.
So, excuse me. How can you?
That still sounds very shady to me that they would
How
do
can
that.
you
That sounds
misconstrue?
like...
Excuse me. Can I help you? To be racist.
The cameras absolved the man of racist comments, but it took Amazon 6 days to unlock his accounts.
Wow.
Did he break?
And they
into
never
his
emailed
house?
him to tell him. He just one day his house unlocked again.
Well,
Crazy.
that's just a weird thing
What
in
did the-
general. Like, why is this a policy where they're like, hey, this guy said something racist?
Lock.
Yeah, why would they deactivate
You can't
his
order
account?
towels off Amazon anymore.
And what
Never
did they,
again to clean up your racism.
What did the driver with his earbuds in think the guy had said? It says
I don't
he had his
that's
earbuds
what I'm
in
trying
and he
to figure
thought
out.
he made a racist remark through the doorbell.
Excuse me. Can I help you?
No, that's the automated response from the doorbell.
So
but
it
how
said
does
that.
It must have misinterpreted
Like,
that
phonetically, how would
as a
that
guy
sound?
thinking that it was a racist comment.
I mean, I don't know if we can say racist
It's
comments.
excuse me, black help you,
Excuse me,
which doesn't make sense, and that's why it's racist.
can I...
Why, we don't want to guess this because it'll be bad.
yeah, what would it be?
He thought, "Excuse me, can I help you?" Was I am judging you by the color of your skin, not the content of your character.
Yeah.
That's what he thought it said.
Well, I don't have a smart home myself.
What color
I
was
just
the
use
guy
old-
that was the Amazon driver?
We do have the lock thing that you punch in the code, and
I just have an old physical key and lock, and then if I have to look through the peephole and just yell racist stuff through the door.
You're living in the past, let
yeah.
me tell you.
you can now deliver racist comments. The doorbell.
Automatic.
And then the guy goes, "Hey," and I go, "I don't have a smartphone. There's nothing, or a smart home. There's nothing you can do about it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't shut me out.
The good old days when you
Yeah.
had to do racism directly. You know what dads can't stand?
Racist homes.
And
Paying taxes only to watch their government
Horse pill.
that money away.
dude, someone wrote.
Horse pill.
So a watchdog group says feds have wasted $3 trillion on improper payments in the past 20 years.
So it doesn't surprise me. 3 trillion, though.
What are improper payments?
I don't know.
Hammers?
Payments to Burisma.
Because I feel like there's way more than that in stuff we shouldn't have been spending money on.
like Ukraine.
It must refer to something specific. So it says Medicare and Medicaid both paid out last year more than $126 billion in payments that should not have been paid out. So this is kind of like fraud, and then stuff that's still on the books that's just the kind of an accounting error, and they just pay it out anyway.
And $3 trillion is almost the entire GDP of India.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't read that from a note. I just knew that off the top of
He
my
knows
head.
the GDP of all the countries.
Yeah.
What's the
true.
GDP of Madagascar?
2.
It's probably 2 of something.
It's
There's no
well,
units.
in Pakistani rupees. It would be
So
3 trillion.
$3 trillion. That's a lot of money. How much have we given to Ukraine?
3
Oh
trillion.
gosh.
Billions.
billions
I don't
and
know if
billions
we've
and
hit trillions. Yet.
No, it's
I think
we're
it's
in the
billions.
100 billion.
We're in the 100
Yeah,
billion,
100
I think.
billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100 billion, which is well on its way to a trillion.
Well, I'll tell you what we've wasted trillions on. The CIA. You heard it here first, folks.
The FBI.
Yeah. So if you had $3 trillion, what would you buy? I'd buy a cow.
Can you buy India? Can you just be like, I own India now?
Good idea.
With 3 trillion, you could pretty much buy anything. Couldn't you buy California? You could almost buy California.
Well, if it's
But
for
what is
sale.
the dollar amount that you would have to just never worry, like not never worry, but like you could buy whatever you wanted. You would never be able to spend
It depends on your living standard.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying like the point at which you could buy a super yacht and your own private jet and
Yeah.
your own
What's the lowest point?
like multiple homes all around
Right.
the world, and
What's
not
the
even
lowest?
never think because there's people who win the lottery and they win $10 million or whatever, and that's how they start living, and then
they blow through
they
it
blow
right
through
away.
it immediately.
Whereas I think if you live at just a like reasonable middle class lifestyle, like around $5 million, I feel like you would,
10
as long as you're not living extravagantly.
Well, where is it where you don't have to work anymore, too? So I would say, like...
Well, how
you
much
can just
money
live
does
off-
Elon Musk have?
You can just live off the interest.
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of go and
5 or 10 million probably.
maybe 10 million.
Yeah, and I'm saying you can invest it then, and
Yeah.
But you're talking about how do we get super yachts? Because I think if we were to say that, I think about 100 million or something, 200 million.
Million?
well, and it
No, I don't think so.
But see, it varies so much because do you want the $2 million super yacht
Sure.
or the $8 million super
No,
yacht?
you want this.
Or the
They always try to upsell you. They always try to upsell you. That's the super yacht.
That's a
Super
year's
yachts are
worth of-
like 80 million.
Yeah.
They're insane.
You don't want a used one.
I only want a tiny
with
super
Formica
yacht.
tables.
It's the new tiny super yacht movement.
That's the super yacht.
I want the James Bond like octopus thing that comes out of the ocean.
You mean like
So
a
now we're in the
Kraken?
billions.
So I've never seen a James Bond movie.
What? That's sad.
Hey, do I have hours of entertainment for you?
But I was at the gym and they were playing one, and it was a really weird old one.
Oh, one of the
was-
good ones. Okay.
There was like an octopus submarine.
It was probably Octopussy.
No.
Can't say that.
No,
It's the name of a
that's
movie.
the name of the movie.
You still can't say
It's
it.
the name of a
the name of
title
a movie.
of one of his books.
Oh man.
It's a person's name.
Yeah. The name of the story is actually The Property of a Lady.
Did you
It's
know?
a short story.
Can you say Octo?
you know-
Nobody's going to go see a movie called The Property of
Yeah,
a Lady.
boring.
I don't want to see that. Octopussy. Let's go see that.
Okay,
Can you say?
read that
I need
book.
you to say Octo Hoo Ha instead.
But that's not what it's about. Anyway, it takes place in Jamaica, like so many of Ian Fleming's work, actually.
because he had a house in Jamaica.
But it came up it came up onto the ocean and it looked onto the beach and it looked really cheesy.
So many of the James Bond stories take place in the Caribbean or Jamaica.
And there was just like a naked woman, like she was just naked,
Where? In
like
what?
dancing, like on the song. You know, they do the song, the James Bond song.
In the theme.
Oh,
intro.
you mean at the opening sequences of all these, where it's like a woman,
Might have been
that's
at the
a
end, I don't know.
silhouette of a woman, and then
yeah, but
there's
she
like,
literally like had.
there's like a bullet that's
There was
slowly
nipple.
going across.
There was definitely nipple
In what?
in this movie, this James Bond movie.
This was one of the old Sean Connery ones.
Probably Roger
It wasn't
Moore.
that guy.
Roger Moore.
It wasn't Sean
Sean Connery was pretty earthy too. There's some earthy stuff.
Yeah, but he slaps women. Roger Moore just looks at them.
He was like,
No, Roger Moore slaps them too.
"Get yourself together."
Hey, I have 2 questions for you. How are you paying for your health care? And how's that working out for you? If it's working perfectly, great. Go grab a snack. If not, then listen closely, because I have a solution for you. A biblical solution. Samaritan Ministries. Samaritan Ministries is a community of Christians paying one another's medical bills. It's biblical, affordable healthcare sharing with no network restrictions. Here's how it works. When a medical need arises, you choose the healthcare provider that's right for you and have a say in the treatment you receive, even if it's a natural approach or an alternative medical treatment. Your medical bills are shared with fellow members and your need is covered in prayer. Healthcare sharing with Samaritan Ministries may also be more affordable than what you're paying now, and if it's the right fit, you can join anytime, even today. Check it out at samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee. That's samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee.
Speaking of slapping women,
Fitting perfectly with Father's
dads
Day.
like Raiders of the Lost Ark, which came out 42 years ago this week. Every dad's favorite movie. Wow.
So it actually legitimately was my favorite movie for probably 20 years of my life.
Really?
Oh, I love this movie.
Wow.
I always
Memorized
liked
it.
Last Crusade a little better, honestly. But
But Last Crusade wouldn't be great without Raiders.
that's, I don't disagree. I like Raiders.
I mean, Temple of Doom is kind of like it was the lost episode until the Crystal Skull came out. Then Temple of Doom looked like the best movie ever.
Man, I miss movie posters
Temple
like
of
this.
Doom.
Yeah, I know.
See,
I
I
had
was-
that movie poster up on my wall.
Nice.
So cool.
I always liked Indiana Jones, but I never was a diehard fan the way I got into like Star Wars or Star Trek
Really?
or some of the other. Yeah, I mean they're fun and I like them, but I'm not.
I was the reverse. I was an Indiana Jones person all until I got into my 20s. Then I really got into
I
Star
didn't
Wars.
feel like there was as much to explore there.
he was
Like
an
it's not a
explorer.
Yeah, it's not
I
a whole
understand. It's not it's not like a universe. I mean, I'm sure there's expanded universe material like comic books and stuff. I bet.
Yeah, there wasn't definitely not as much to occupy.
There's
yourself
something about
in terms of
sci-fi where
pop
you
culture.
create a universe where it's
Yeah.
like there's just limitless possibilities.
There-
really
there-
tickles the old brain cells.
There are a series of fiction novels
Yeah,
based
sure.
on Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
but
there are.
they're-
Not
some
like
of
the
them,
original documentary.
Right. Some of them are
Fiction. These are fiction.
In order to explore, you have to actually become an archaeologist, which was one of my plans. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry,
well,
sorry.
some of them are, they have a decent hook or whatever, and like one of them is about like Noah's Ark's deluge, the Great Deluge, Indiana Jones and the Great Deluge. But then one of them will be like Indiana Jones and the dinosaur eggs. I'm like, that's a stupid title.
Yeah, one of them
What is
was
this
the Spear of Destiny. So that was the spear that poked Jesus in the side. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to have magical powers.
And then there was Indiana Jones and the Octopussy.
Here's an awesome concept art that George Lucas hired concept artist Jim Steranko to flesh out for his idea of a swashbuckling archaeologist that punches Nazis.
It's actually really good.
That's great concept
good.
art.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I would have that on the wall for sure.
I know. We should have that on the wall.
That's
there he is again.
I like this guy.
That guy's face though.
He's got a strong neck.
Eh.
He's got a pillar.
He
He's
looks
got-
like a
does.
GoldenEye 007 character model, like with that
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
polygon. It's like one block
Yeah.
here.
It's like totally an Ian Fleming thing. But he's about to shoot that Cobra with like a 911 or something.
Well, I wasn't referring to Ian Fleming.
And
I
this was
referring
before
to
the
low
movie was
polygon
cast and before it came
video
out.
game graphics.
yeah, this
apparently.
was, and he
I feel like if
ended up switching over to like a one of those 6-shooters later. That kind of one of the ones from the World War One. They were like standard issue.
World War
guns,
One
like a
revolver.
Yeah, instead of
That's what it's called, the World War I revolver.
One of those. One of those.
That's what they called it.
it's weird that they named it that
have one at
before
home.
World War One started.
Isn't that weird? It's almost like
We've
it's
designed this
self-fulfilling
new
prophecy.
World War One revolver
we've already
just
got
in case.
We've already got the gun. We might as well have the war.
I'm really thinking about
Hopefully, we never have to use this.
it. I have one at home, and I can't remember the name of it. It starts with a W. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you think when they cast Harrison Ford and he came in and he asked to see the concept art, so what am I supposed to look like? And they're like, show him the first picture. Don't
Don't show him the second one.
Wait, that's
he
what I
looks
look
kind of
like.
like Tom Selleck.
No, don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
Yeah, have you seen?
We messed up the face a little bit.
yeah.
The guy that drew, he wasn't good with faces.
We did not plan on having Tom Selleck at all. We're so happy you're here. Yeah, that's funny. Who can forget when the Ark of the Covenant melted that Nazi guy's face off?
I wanted to forget when I was a child because that was the
won
scariest part
them.
of the movie.
If you could have won them. If
Really
only you
put the
spoke.
fear of God in me.
Jovitos.
Are these just random Indiana Jones quotes that we're looking
bad
at
dates. Top men. Asps, very dangerous. You go first.
Hey guys, what's your favorite movie trilogy of all time? This says, why is it Indiana Jones 1 through 3 or Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End?
here? What? I
those all
gotta go
connect?
with the original Star Wars trilogy.
My favorite trilogy of all time, I would go either Star Wars or Lord of the Rings would be mine.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones definitely play in my mind together. Star Wars second.
I don't think Indiana Jones is really even a contender for the greatest trilogy of
I know
all time.
it's a good trilogy, but I don't think it's.
You don't think so, huh?
The first and third movie are awesome.
Well, it's
The second one is
Back to
not
the
very
Future.
good.
Back
in
to
my
the
opinion.
Future.
it's tough because the Indiana Jones trilogy is now 4 movies long, almost 5. And
I still think you look
I'm
at
okay counting the original. Like Star Wars is no longer a trilogy, but I still like
Still
the original trilogy.
4,
Yeah.
5, and 6, the original trilogy
Yeah.
were great.
what fourth Indiana Jones movie are you referencing?
oh, Indiana Jones and the Dinosaur Eggs.
Never heard of it.
Indiana Jones. I think actually Temple of Doom, if you go watch it again, is a great movie though.
Yes, Temple of Doom is
yeah.
probably my favorite.
I love it too.
I like
tell anyone.
that was probably my favorite as a kid because back then you're not a movie critic. You're not. It was just cool as a kid. The scenes like scared me in it and stuff, and I thought it was just a fun movie to watch.
I think that's the thing. I think Raiders is actually the most well made.
Yes.
And I think Last Crusade probably has the best story. Mm-hmm. But Temple of Doom is just so stupid and fun.
Yes, exactly.
I think Raiders
Like
is
what-
original. but
Just
it's
Saturday
basically
morning
fun.
pulp type.
I think
know.
Raiders
Yeah,
and
it hits
Last
that
Crusade are
really
the
well.
same movie. I kind of feel
It does knock off of DuckTales a little bit though.
Yeah,
However,
that's right.
I mean,
DuckTales.
the best movie is Crystal Skull, right?
I don't.
He agreed.
I don't even think
agree.
Sealed in
that
blood.
Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are very good.
I like
think-
the original Shaun of the Dead, and
Is there another Shaun of the Dead other than other than that one?
I think it's a little overrated, to be honest.
he's saying that that's a trilogy, right? Because it's
Yeah.
the
It's the
same.
people
it's
consider
Cornetto
it a
trilogy.
Yeah.
Loosely.
I've never seen The World's
associated.
End.
I haven't either.
Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
I really wanted to like it, and I felt like I would never laugh at the whole thing.
I thought
Even
it was
when he
okay. I like
kicks
Shaun
the
of
old
the
lady
Dead.
in the face.
I really like Simon Pegg's ability to cry.
It's funny because he kicks an old lady in
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's funny.
Also, Timothy Dalton's in that movie, and he's an incredible, obvious cartoon villain.
I love British humor,
Timothy
and I really thought I would
Dalton.
like it, and I just didn't.
Yes.
I'll
It
give it
was
another shot, though.
Hey,
Maybe
you
I'm
know
wrong.
what else Dad's like?
What?
Crickets. A plague of Mormon crickets has descended on the city of Elko, Nevada.
That's like
This a
recent.
sign of the end times.
Why are they Mormon
Oh,
crickets?
look at that!
I think
Look at all
that's
these
the breed
crickets.
they're called.
Oh,
We're watching the video now.
the crickets are riding bicycles and wearing little,
I read something that said they poop everywhere.
just like
Oh, I thought
wow,
it was
look at
because
them. They're
each
all over
cricket
the
had its
place.
own world.
This is not uncommon. People,
each cricket has its own planet.
Locusts and crickets, they're kind of related. This is kind of what happens, right?
When they hatch, they come out
Yeah.
and they do this.
I mean, there's always swarms of locusts. Why not? Why not crickets?
Because they have a conscience.
We are now watching the video
Look at all these crickets.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah, that would be really
Don't
annoying.
really bother me.
Crickets don't bother me, but a ton of them might.
You know, you said dads like it. My father-in-law really likes crickets.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah.
Well, because when you save a cricket, it's good luck. And
Is it
my
really?
dad would make such a big deal about that. He would
I didn't know
save
that.
crickets. He'd go out of his way to save a cricket that got in the house. And well, it's good luck.
I would be so
Travis.
mad when I'm trying to sleep and you
always
hear a
ladybugs.
cricket and you don't know where it is.
Yeah, ladybugs are good luck too.
Yeah.
That's what they
But
say.
you know what dads really love?
What?
It's not ladybugs.
Man bugs.
It's basket. It's man bugs in the form of basketball and other sports with the balls,
Sports
and you
ball.
throw them and you pass them.
Yeah.
So the Denver Nuggets, which is a real name of a real team,
Yeah.
won their
Ooh.
first NBA final this
The
week.
Nuggets. Yep.
And I think didn't the Golden Knights also win the
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Stanley Cup.
Yeah, yep.
Never
That
heard of
was
the
their
Golden
first
Knights.
time.
What
They're,
is
they're a
that?
newer team too.
They're a new
they're
Vegas
new-
hockey team.
The
It's a
Vegas
hockey
Hockey.
They've been around, what, 4 years? 3 or
Okay.
4
6 years, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't.
6.
I don't follow the hockey.
Yeah, they're new in the sense that like I still think of the Mighty Ducks as new because
Yeah, they
I
were a
remember
new
when they
team.
were traded.
I think of the Rockies as new. That's how new. Yeah.
They are
Colorado
pretty
Rockies.
new.
Colorado
They are
Rockies.
one of the newer teams.
They were
I
like
don't know
one
that
of the
there's
latest
been new
expansions.
teams.
They
I
were
still
like
think
late
of
90s.
the
right?
Dodgers as
late
new.
'90s. I went to the first game in Coors Stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
How old are you?
So old.
Back before the mountains were formed. I went
The
and saw
Denver,
Rockies.
the Denver Nuggies.
I was.
The Denver Nuggies MVP, which stands for Most Valuable Player.
I always wondered that.
His name is Nikola Jokic,
You know, I thought it was
Nikola.
most.
Oh, yeah, I saw
vulnerable.
this. I
Nikola
saw this
Jokic.
interview. This is funny.
Jokic.
and he's from Serbia, and he was super disinterested. He seemed super disinterested and unhappy in basketball. And during the post-game interview, he just looked like he really just wanted to go home, and he had just finished a really long shift at the factory.
He
He
did
pretty much
actually.
said as much. They asked him, "Are you excited for the celebration parade?" And he goes, "When?" And they said it's on Thursday or
He's
something.
like, "When
and
this-"
he goes, "No, I'm going back to
He's like,
Serbia."
yeah, he's like, he
He's like,
turns
"Not-"
to his,
he goes,
turns to his
"Not
people.
Thursday, no."
He turns, he's like, when is
just-
parade?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
not everybody likes their job.
Looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
This is great.
When is parade?
When is parade?
Thursday.
Thursday.
No,
No.
I need to go home.
I love this response.
Oh man, he's really stressed about it.
Well, it's not everything on the wall, you know. I think still, if okay, I want it. Okay, we won it, but I think it's not the most important thing in the world. Still, there is a bunch of things that I like to do.
It's great. I love that answer.
Probably that's normal. Nobody likes his job. Or maybe they do.
He looks
That's
at it like
probably
a
why.
job, like punching the card at the factory.
Yeah, nobody likes their job. Except maybe you do. Maybe you're lying. I don't like my job. He doesn't like his job. He works in, he's like,
You have to try really hard to get that job.
Yeah,
Not like to succeed in the
just-
NBA.
Like
he was
that,
just really good at it.
Yeah.
I like that the other team was trying really hard to win, and they would have been so happy.
Oh,
and he's
so
just
happy.
like, I guess I won.
What a burden! Now I have to wear this ring.
I have to stay till Thursday. I wouldn't
like,
have
wait,
had to
when
go.
can
I have to go home.
I would have
Go
lost
home right
game if I
after
had known
December.
I had to go to parade.
That's pretty great though.
I've got to
is.
take the horses out. He actually has a.
That's what he wants to get back to. Is
Yeah, he's got a
with
farm.
horses, and he wants.
Of course
to go
he
back
wants
and
to get
enjoy
back.
that.
He was such a postseason MVP. He was the first NBA player to ever lead the entire playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists.
Wow,
So he's just like,
First ever.
fantastic
yeah,
player.
like to be first in all of those categories for the entire postseason is crazy.
I think this makes a good point that when you really, as an athlete, if you don't put a lot of emotion and thought into it, you do way better. It's true. Like these guys, I was trying to tell this to my kids when they're playing baseball. Just don't worry so much. Like get up there and just have fun. Just go hit the ball and do whatever. They do so much better when they're not thinking about it. And this guy is obviously not thinking about it.
Yeah,
We were watching a baseball game yesterday,
Yeah.
and my wife is, we're rooting for the Padres, and the guy got to first base, and he started talking to the first baseman who was on the other team, and they kind of like high-fived or give a little, and she goes, "Oh, they're friends."
So they clocked in. It's just a job.
Baseball players have pretty decent sportsmanship, I think.
Baseball has
Compared
all
to
those
other sports.
unwritten rules, like you're not supposed to showboat and
Sort of a gentleman's game.
a gentleman's game.
Yeah,
A gentleman's
I
game.
agree with that.
You know what else gentlemen like? Adam Yenser.
Oh,
It's time for weekly news with Adam Yenser.
the gentlemen really like it.
Dads everywhere say that he is their favorite comedian. Many such cases.
And crickets.
Which you often get
And
at
man
Adam
bugs.
Yenser shows. Yeah, a lot of crickets.
Yeah.
That's a terrible.
That's the joke.
Wow, that was great, Adam.
That was good.
I've never listened to so much news in my life.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah.
I can only hear it from you,
I know.
the most trusted name in news.
Banger of the week.
Sad.
This really should be our bomb of the week.
Heyo.
Sad. Invitations to Unabomber's funeral mailed out, but no one wants to open them.
That actually
favorite-
would be sad.
My favorite part of this was everybody was commenting saying, "This is too soon, guys."
Oh my gosh, they're sad for the Unabomber. They're probably being ironic.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe
I like
they're
his
being
tweed jacket in that picture, though.
Oh yeah, it's probably available now. Maybe he's having an estate sale at his little cabin in the Montana woods.
It's probably worth money. Actually, if you think about it.
Let's also go
worth
around
that.
and say one nice thing about the Unabomber.
Oh, I thought we were gonna all go around and say if you could have one serial killer memorabilia, what would you get?
You get.
Hey, we're gonna do a
Jarret,
tweed
it's the
jacket.
Unabomber's tweet.
Actually, I'd like that. I'd like his house in the woods. That would be really cool.
They still have it. It's in FBI headquarters.
I know, they actually removed it from the woods and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, in FBI
Completed.
headquarters, like I said.
I know. I watched that thing. Now, so let's say one thing about the Unabomber.
I like his facial hair in this picture.
That's
kind of-
very
kind of-
kind of you.
It's kind of dignified a little. I mean, he maybe could use a trim.
Yeah, he's got that goatee.
He was a smart guy, wasn't he? He was like a professor and a writer first.
He was
and
allegedly a genius.
he was a brilliant person. He's just an evil, brilliant person.
That's a nice.
So
nice
he's
thing to say.
smart, good facial hair, and he has a sweet
would-
tweed jacket.
I would actually prefer. I want to say his hair. Like his hair's really nice.
Yeah, but
he's got a great hair.
You always say that about me.
Oh, wasn't he the source of one of the best like Weekend Update Norm Macdonald segments ever?
Oh, what did he do?
Because they had the remember the police sketch drawing of the Unabomber, and it was like that. Wasn't that the one
Well,
with
he
the
had the
hoodie,
hoodie on,
and
yeah.
the glasses?
Yeah.
And then when they showed what he actually looked like, he looks like nothing like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And Norm, he played the sketch artist, I think, and he did this bit where he's like, "Well, I'm not really good with eyes, so I drew glasses, and I'm not good with hair, so I gave him." It's like you can't even see
draw
what the guy
hands.
looks like.
I know.
You know,
it's
we're gonna hide
not
him.
I'm
very
not really
helpful.
good.
Yeah,
I'm really good at this.
I was going to say that's the nice thing I have to say about him is that he essentially created this sketch inspired by him, and it just looks like Weird Al Yankovic in a hoodie.
yeah.
It does.
Oh yeah.
That's nice. I'm glad you said that.
So rest in power, Unabomber.
Bomb of the week.
God asks Cindy to please stop bringing that infernal tambourine to church.
Someone
funny.
out there is really
Hates
upset.
the tambourine.
One of my
One
of the people on my team.
but I don't have strong feelings about it. I just remember there was always a lady that would bring a tambourine.
We have a
in the
tambourine.
pews, and she would just
wow.
And she's
Not on
telling
the-
everybody, don't go to their website.
Yeah.
For me, it was always the handbell choir. Did you guys ever have that at your church?
Yeah, we did.
added one of those ones.
We called them the dingbats.
and it was,
Yeah.
it's
they come out during Christmas and stuff.
yeah, they would have them at my church for a while year round. I don't know if they still do, but because it's each individual person. Anytime someone messes up, you hear it.
And
So
you
there's
know-
always like
yeah.
one that's off, and then you always see them go. They react a little because they know they hit it wrong. It's
Stupid.
It's
I feel
such
like
an
there could be a really
awkward-
good sketch
it's
about
such
this
an
where we have one guy
awkward
who doesn't know how to do
musical
it.
performance.
Just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
But the unique thing about this cultural phenomenon is like that someone would bring in a musical instrument and just play it sitting in the pew. Like they weren't asked to bring it.
I've never seen that. Someone
never
actually
seen
just
it. This
brought
is
it
like-
and played it from the pew.
Like in the pew. Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that in my life.
Yeah.
One of the girls on my
Well, that's
team.
why it bombed because I was the
Oh,
only
okay.
one.
Wow.
I was just writing it
Is
about.
that a certain denomination where people bring the tambourine?
I think
Well,
like charismatic
Baptist.
tend to do it, but like I've seen it in a Baptist church where a lady
I've seen
just brings it.
streamers a lot at charismatic churches, but not a whole lot of
Streamers?
streamers. I guess.
Yeah, they do the
could
ribbon
like
dancing thing.
Yeah, they do the streamers.
But like run down the aisles.
Yeah, they like kind of. Actually, I didn't.
There's a mental image there that's just hitting my funny bone for some reason.
I don't think
it's
people
not
don't really
not
bring
funny.
accessories to Lutheran churches.
very
The
funny.
most I ever see is people will bring They'll bring coffee, even though it says no drinks in the sanctuary.
Sneak smuggle it in.
They
They'll bring
shoes.
Bibles.
A lot of people bring shoes.
Yeah.
The church I'm going to, the security is very strict about the coffee. If you try to slip in the side door, they're like, "Excuse me, sir."
No coffee and
Yeah,
The carpet. We got to make sure the carpet lasts.
it's the carpet thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey friends, it's the voice of the bee here. You know, we can't believe the dire headlines that we're facing in the world today. Everywhere you look, things are falling apart. That's why the smartest investment you can make right now is in your family's food security. The reality is, you might not be able to find food when the next disaster strikes. Grocery stores will be empty because roads will be closed and trucks won't be able to make deliveries. When that happens, you need emergency food in full supply. That's why we urge you to grab a 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest preparedness company. And when you order today, you'll save $200 on each kit you need. Having these kits means your family will stay fed, while others stand in food lines. Don't delay. Order your 3-month emergency food kit today and save $200 per kit. It's easy to order. Go to preparewithb.com. You'll get fast and free shipping too. Do this today, or you'll regret it tomorrow. Preparewithb.com. Dads, this one's for you.
False.
They love.
I don't like Father's
You don't
Day.
like that?
Why don't you like Father's Day?
I get too pressured about it because they're like, "Where do you want to go eat? Where do you want to?" And I just want to do everything for
I
everybody.
love that. I'm like a god.
I am a generous.
I will become.
For me,
I am a generous.
Where's the heresy
generous
jar?
God. A generous God.
There's like one day where I am kind of the respected leader of my household.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The actual biblical leader of your household.
Just for one day. It's kind of nice.
I like Father's Day. I think it's a lot of fun. But Father's Day is always around my birthday too.
I'm being somewhat flippant, but occasionally, like this year, I have been like, they're like, "Where do you want to go eat?" I'm like, I don't know. I wanted to go to Cracker Barrel until they got all gay.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
They have the rainbow rocking
Yeah.
chairs.
Rainbow.
outside.
I would still eat.
I'd still go back, but I don't really want to go during Pride Month.
Caucasian Barrel.
I feel
would
like
eat
the
a-
hash brown casserole makes up for one rainbow chair. They can't.
Yeah,
I would eat at Jeremy's gay Cracker Barrel.
yeah.
Jeremy's gay Caucasian
That's
Barrel.
Jeremy's
Yeah.
Cracker
That's
Barrel.
Jeremy's Cracker.
I do
But
there.
it was funny that Cracker Barrel went well because wasn't there a controversy a few years ago about the whip or something in their logo? Or
Ooh.
there was,
Oh,
there
I
was
don't
some,
remember,
like-
but that doesn't surprise
it
me.
was
Oh,
there was a
Cracker.
claim that Cracker referred to whip cracking in slavery days.
Well, that's
and
why they
people are
call-
offended by it.
But that is why they call white people crackers, is
Yeah.
because of that. But I
didn't know
can't
that.
be.
I thought it was
there a
'cause we were
noose?
the color
There
of
was a
crackers.
noose on the wall. There was a noose.
If we
on
were
the
to hold up a saltine cracker to Travis's skin flesh,
His skin flesh.
skin flesh
it would be
On
like
his face?
you wouldn't even see it.
on his
Yeah.
facial.
In
skin
fact,
flesh.
this is a reveal. There has been a cracker taped to his face the whole episode.
And you
because
see it.
I thought we were going to say Travis has been a cracker this whole episode. And we cut over there's just a saltine with glasses sitting in the chair.
we need to do that.
That's
we need
good.
To get that.
Just a white guy. That's good.
So yeah, I like Father's Day. I think it's fun. I like getting presents.
I like it too.
I'm going to a baseball game with my whole family.
Well, that's fun.
This is the first time that we've gone with all three boys because we've gone with the two boys, but we didn't have Calvin yet. He hadn't been created yet.
I'm going to a Dodger game on Friday.
That has nothing to do
Dude,
with
that's
Father's
like
Day,
Pride
though.
Night.
Is it actually Pride Night?
It's either Pride Night or it's the day after Pride Night. I think it's either Thursday or Friday is Pride
Really?
Night. You're going on
no,
Pride Night, bro.
You're going on Daddy's Day.
You're
And I'm going. The thing is, I'm going with my best friend. So he's like, for Father's Day, we should go
Wait,
to a
let's find
Dodger
out.
game.
Oh, he's going to come out
So
to
maybe
you.
he's telling
Try
me.
and
Maybe
hit
he's
on
telling me
you.
something.
He's coming out
Hey
to you.
Jarret, for Father's Day, we should go to the Dodger. It has to be this day. I mean, no reason. We should go. You should come
It
with
should
me.
definitely
It'd
be
cool. I
this
think we'll
Let's
have
see
fun.
if it's Pride Night, because that would be crazy.
Let's see, Dodgers Pride.
But
The
MLBs, did you
Sisters
guys
of
hear this?
Perpetual Indulgence will be there.
Did you guys hear? The MLB just this week came with like?
Dude, it's on June 16th.
Oh my gosh, are you
You're
serious?
going to
You're going on Pride Night.
I gotta tell my buddy.
Go and protest. Boo. If you're going, just boo. When they start saying gay stuff.
Makes me want to punch a goat. That's terrible, man.
I was thinking about it because I'm going to a Cubs game tomorrow. I'm going to Wrigley for the first time. I'm really excited
that's
about
Oh,
it.
I've been to Wrigley.
Dude, it's so cool. I
So
love
excited.
it.
Yeah.
Have you?
Those
Oh,
old
man.
school stadiums are great.
I'm excited because it was built in like what 1909 or 1916 or
Yeah, it was
something
built
like
by
that.
slaves.
It was
Oh man, it's also
the crackers were.
the crackers.
There was a big controversy since slavery had been illegal for 50 55 years.
That's like Fenway.
Yeah.
Fenway.
It's okay. They were Jewish slaves.
They don't call it the big green monster for nothing.
That's in Boston.
But anyway, I'm going with Joel, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, I hope we're not going on Pride Night because me and Joel would be showing up together like, hey guys,
Dude, well, that's exactly the situation.
and we missed it. We missed it by like one day. So
going with my best
You're
friend.
going on Pride Night Eve?
On Pride Night. You guys, I have to do it now, and I have to report back and let you guys know.
Tell
wear
us
a
what
Babylon
it's
B
like.
shirt and let's see.
I'm totally gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear a Babylon B shirt. We're going all out.
Wear a
dude.
MAGA hat.
Do it.
Ooh,
Now,
yeah.
that would be I'd probably get beat up if I do that.
You might with one.
Like,
Wearing my MAGA hat around LA, every now and then I get in the mood to do it. It's so much fun.
I love that about
It's
you.
so much fun.
You know who does that? Joe Wolford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll wear a MAGA hat to the gym and stuff. And
man.
people don't know what to do with him.
I want to hang out with Joe Wolford
Yeah.
in our MAGA hats sometime.
Dude, you guys would have
That
a
would
great
be so
time.
much fun. We should just do like a
Be like
a
Ebony
hidden
and Ivory.
camera, like Man on the Street thing where we just go around LA in our MAGA hats.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That sounds like a great bit.
I actually do like that idea.
So, do we have any good dad stories from our childhoods? Was anybody's dad horrible, and this is going to be really emotional?
That was the one thing I was concerned about.
Everyone's crying.
That's what was hard when they told me before the episode. They're like, "Do you have any good dad stories?" My dad was great, and so he was like he was a good father. He was a good handyman. Like he was always fixing cars, fixing things around the house. And then when they're like, "Do you have any good dad stories?" The only thing that pops in your head are like the few times he messed up. So,
But it was always funny.
it's like it was always
Looking
funny
back.
when that stuff would happen. But no, my dad was great. He is great. He's still around.
Yeah.
My dad was great. He's still around.
Also still,
But he's not great anymore.
He's dead to me now.
You know what's sad? Living on that. This is the thing that's like I don't enjoy about Mother's Day and Father's Day as much anymore. It's like living across the country. It's like I don't get to do the going out with the family or
Going to
anything
Pride
like that.
Night.
It's just a
Going to
phone.
Pride Night with your
It's
best
just a
friend.
phone call. It's just I call my parents and talk to them on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Oh,
It's nice to see them.
my goodness.
the ball game we're going to on Sunday is also Star Wars Day at the ballpark, and they have a player named Juan Soto. So I'm getting a bobblehead that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's got a lightsaber instead of a baseball bat.
Oh, that's
I feel like Juan Soto is also similar to Han Solo. I feel like
Oh,
it
they
could
could-
have
It's
gone
so
that-
close,
it could
but
have
that's where I
gone
thought
that
you were going with
direction.
it.
They didn't have
Now I
Adam
feel
on the
like you
terrible.
made
I'm not going anymore.
It feels like you made the roundabout pun rather than the obvious pun.
They made 40,000 bobbleheads, and they were like, "Oh shoot, it should have been." You know what we should have done?
There's this player named Juan Soto, so I made this
Yeah.
bobblehead. It's Luke Skywalker.
Chewbacca.
There's this player named Luke Skyfliker.
Luke Skywalker is the best thing I've ever heard.
That's really funny. Oh man, other
So
father
I
stuff.
made this character called Juan the Hutt.
Yeah, but it's gonna be an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Juan. Oh my goodness.
He's like, "Get it? Because Juan."
Oh, I get it now.
Because of the one.
No, I'm still excited about my bobblehead.
I like it.
They missed the low-hanging fruit. Now this is for the more discerning Star Wars fan.
So,
Skywalker.
my dad,
Man.
I feel like my dad gave me all the childhood memories you think of, like holding the flashlight and
Sure.
yeah.
correctly, and
And it's always like, no, over here. Stop shaking
you're
it.
in my light. You're in my light.
And then one year I got my dad a snake light because I saw it.
My dad got a
advertised on
snake light
TV,
too.
And he was just like, oh, thanks. And he never used it.
Or my dad uses it all the time. He still uses it.
Oh, yeah. He never used it. He just.
My dad's a
keeps
bit of
making me
a
hold the
flashlight collector.
A flashlight.
I've learned this
I'm a-
oddly strange
I'm a-
thing about your father.
I'm a discerning flashlight
See,
collector.
that's like my dad. He worked for Mack Trucks as a draftsman for all his life, and he was very he was a car guy. He knew how to keep all our cars running forever, and he'd always fix them and stuff. So he's very handy. But like I said, the one memory I have of him is like when he messed up. We had a pop-up camper, and we'd go camping all the time as kids, and we would tow it behind. We had an old Suburban. And there's specific warnings on campers that say tighten the lug nuts on the wheels before you take them on trips. And while we were driving down the highway, the lug nuts popped off of one of the pop-up camper tires, and the tire went up through the rear floor of the camper and started dragging. And my dad's like swerving, and we had to get over like 3 lanes of traffic to
my
pull over.
gosh.
And he didn't nothing happened. We didn't hit any other cars, but we walked back, and the tire had gone all the way up through the camper.
Whoa.
Dang.
And I just remember like being on the highway and swerving. I'm trying to get over
Oh my gosh.
because he hadn't tightened the lug nuts on the camper tire.
I think that's one of my dad's stories too, is that we were helping someone move and we had a mattress on top of the car. And we just didn't tie it down enough.
Yeah.
And it just went flying and we ran over it and this whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
I had to go like in the street and drag it out and
Did you guys use the mattress afterwards?
yeah.
Did you have
Still
to
used it.
Well, it wasn't my mattress, so it was their problem.
The springs are still good.
But we put it on their bed, so
Oh, that's funny. Nothing happened to it. What's that mark?
yeah, it was just the
that
corner
tire
of it.
mark? Yeah.
Yeah, he just barely missed it. Like excellent driving.
So my dad he worked at Lockheed Martin for a lot of years. So he was in like the HR department, leadership department. He got his PhD in leadership, and then he ended up working as a professor for like 17 or 18 years. So he was a professor.
It's funny to me to get your PhD in leadership.
Yeah.
Like I
can lead
I am a
you.
leader.
No,
I'm not good at anything else.
all I do.
But I can lead you.
Yeah, you would think.
And you
yes.
can bring it up all the time. If somebody's like, hey, we should go this way. Excuse me. Do you have a PhD in
I
leadership?
have a PhD in leadership. I will be
no
leading
offense,
this
that's cool.
expedition. No, he's actually a great guy, really quiet guy. So the biggest thing,
Doesn't sound like a very good leader.
well, surprisingly he is, but he was really quiet. So my dad and I were polar opposites in terms of our personalities.
Oh, you're not quiet?
No, unbeknownst to some, but
Dad texts quietly.
he does with his fingers. Yeah, not like me. But
I can see them sitting together and Jarret's doing voice to text and his dad's like looking up like, can you keep it down?
It prepared me to work here. Actually, that was one of the things I've learned. My whole life was an education on how to deal with introverts, and so it was so fun.
What are you saying?
And he was.
My dad worked at Boeing. Or
He
works,
did?
still does.
Do
really
both
cool.
of your dads have ties to Ukraine
Mine does not have any.
No.
No, yeah, not at all.
I mean,
that you're aware
they-
of? Okay.
there's probably some truth to the perverse incentive that they would be okay with more bombs.
It was really good.
I mean, you know,
Yeah, I did go to.
like it is the defense industry, right?
I did go.
But I think my dad would prefer if we just defended, you know.
So my dad was part of the Peacekeeper thing. So like that whole project. So I went to
Peacekeeper, the name of a
Brainerd.
bomb.
It's a bomb that shoots. So you remember Scud missiles?
Is Peacekeeper really the name of a bomb?
It's the name of a bomb that shoots other
was just
bombs
kidding.
out of the sky.
This sounds like something that a kid drew.
Yes.
Like, what are you drawing? It's a bomb, but it shoots other bombs out of the
bombs.
sky.
It's
And
an
plus it has missiles and lasers.
That's right.
I call it Peacekeeper.
It's the Peacekeeper.
Hey, man,
It's
you know,
so cool.
It costs 1 penny, and it costs one penny.
It's no Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it works. It's low hanging fruit. But he worked on that, so I got to go to
That's
the
cool.
office, which was crazy because you get to see all the missiles. Like, 'cause they basically were majoring on missiles when my dad was there. They did a lot of planes.
My dad
and jets,
just
too.
did the space shuttle.
Man, all of our dads were such like men's men. They were like
Yeah.
mechanical and engineering savvy, and look at us, we're just
know.
Bunch of
effeminate
idiots.
artists
We're probably-
our
we're probably
writing-
huge disappointments.
writing sketches,
My dad
yeah.
used to
my
always
dad's
tell me
very
to
proud
turn
of
my
it.
hat around too. He was when I was a kid. Turn your hat around, Jarret. Turn your hat around, just like these people online.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really church. Did he comment on your man boobs too?
No,
Too far, Kyle.
I'm trying to think if he did.
Hey, shape up that body.
He just has a lot of ghost accounts.
I erased them.
He just anonymously
Look at
bullies.
these, look at these man boobs. Look at that flex.
The only way I'll make him change is by cyberbullying.
If you could keep your father and then have a second father, nothing weird. Just
Yeah,
Two dads?
who would that be?
my father-in-law.
Wait, is this?
I'm just reading the prompt. That's what it says.
I don't even see that one on.
It says,
"Oh, who
you keep your
okay,
father,
I
but
see.
you get to have two fathers.
Oh.
Who was your second father?
Sounds gay marriagey.
No, it says no.
No, it says
it
that's not
specifically says not.
Oh, okay.
No,
It's
no,
not
Oh,
homo
okay,
at
I
all.
see.
Well, I tell you what I used to say. I always used to say Bill Cosby. For obvious reasons, I don't say that anymore.
See, I never used to say him, and then when I learned how good he is at picking up women,
What a
you were
role
like,
model.
Man, if I could be more like Bill.
It's like,
My
See,
father.
Bill Cosby's kids are ones that could say, my dad was great.
yeah, America's dad.
Yeah.
That's right.
He-
Now I wish Donald Trump was my father.
I feel like I don't need a second father. I feel like I'm okay.
I feel like if I was to pick a second father, it'd be another like man from my family, like my grandpa
Sure,
or my
yeah,
pappy or
something like
something.
that.
Yeah.
But
I'd
they're
always-
already kind of
Yeah.
filling that role.
Always
it.
go TV dad.
I would-
Carl Winslow now.
Okay, so I think my father-in-law is an amazing guy too. He teaches Bible study. He's been at the same. He's owned the same business
Oh yeah,
for like
that's a good
50
father-in-law.
years.
Yeah, you do get a second father.
He's a great guy.
If you have a family.
He's a huge Babylon Bee fan. Bill Stevens, huge Babylon Bee fan. Awesome guy.
Thank you, Bill Stevens.
Thank you, Bill Stevens. We love you, Bill Stevens.
Use code Bill Stevens.
You're our only hope.
Save 99%.
Bill
OB.
Stevens.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Bill. Oh, Bill. What?
Oh, Bill Juan Kenobi. Stevens Kenobi. That's funny.
Who's the best biblical father? You can't pick God.
Oh,
They all had a lot of faults.
yeah, Abraham almost killed
I would
that
say
guy.
the
Noah.
father.
Noah never did anything
I
wrong.
like the prodigal son's father.
Yeah, that's.
No,
I mean, it's a parable. Does that count?
It's a parable.
Does that
you
count
can.
or no?
You can
Yeah.
pick. You
I
can
don't
pick.
know.
I think you could pick the parable.
Pick that one.
I'll allow it.
All right, no. I'll
It says you
think
can't pick God, and you pick the character that represents God.
Oh, that's
true. That's
40
true.
So
texts.
David was the.
True.
Let's talk about this for a second. David was an awful father. Jacob was. He showed favoritism, so he was kind of a bad father.
Yeah.
Joseph, you don't know much about his fatherhood. Samuel didn't have any kids. Saul was a terrible father.
It doesn't have to be the best, like, he's
Seems
a
like-
perfect father, but just the most entertaining father.
Well, there you got. Peter.
Or the most
We're
notable.
going for entertainment value here.
Entertainment value. Paul didn't have any kids. Jesus didn't have any kids.
But Paul had true children in the faith.
Timothy.
Yeah.
I'm sure Timothy, if he had that one question, like if you could have another father,
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, I'd pick Paul.
Paul.
I think
Yeah.
Peter would be fun. He seems
As a
like
dad.
Peter as a dad seems like he'd be the guy that's like the car's breaking down on the family
Yeah,
trip and
and
all
he'd
that.
take care of it.
Well, he'd be a bit of a goofball.
Oh.
And we'd all be laughing at him. you
I
know?
agree. I think Peter is a bit of a goofball. Like
Yeah, he's definitely a goofball. And
He's
I
the
think
guy
it
that
would be-
says cringy things like when other people
Yeah.
are around and he embarrasses you.
right.
Yeah.
I'd pick Peter.
Well, we don't have to pick.
Well, it actually doesn't say that you're picking them
I
as your
pick
father.
Peter, and now he's my dad.
Who's the worst biblical father? You can't pick Satan.
Because he's the father of lies.
Father of lies.
You get it?
Okay. Beelzebub.
There's some pretty bad
What's his
ones.
name? Starts with a J. The one that said he'd sacrifice
Yeah,
his daughter.
Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim.
The first person that
Jehoiakim.
runs out of his house.
Sorry, I don't know exactly.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, he's like, whoever steps through that door, I'm gonna murder.
Yeah.
Don't some of them do the sex with their kids?
Yeah, like Lot.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
In his defense,
He was
did not
drunk.
know. He was very, very drunk.
In his defense, it was dark. He was very drunk.
You gotta hand it to him.
When I found out about Bill Cosby.
I'd probably would go with Lot as the worst biblical father, just because he did like, hey, let's move to Sodom.
He also was like, take my daughters, please.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
that's pretty bad.
What a
Well,
jerk.
he did it ironically. Oh, take my daughters, please.
Please.
And then they're like, oh,
Hey, I get no respect around here.
yeah, he's Rodney Dangerfield.
That's Lot. Lot is played by Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. For best biblical
Please.
father, I'd go with Abraham, just because Father Abraham.
Abraham's a pretty solid choice. Yeah.
I mean,
other
I'm
than
not
that-
saying he was perfect.
Dude, he kicked Ishmael out into the wilderness. Like his first
Yeah, but
son.
God said, listen to your wife. He had permission to do it, essentially.
And he almost killed Israel. Also ordained by God. But these are not things that
It's like you're answering your own
don't
questions.
leave. You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, I'm just saying, to me,
It was terrible that
they would
Abraham
leave a
listened to God.
psychological imprint on
Said Jarret.
Israel.
No,
You're
okay.
like, well, there was that one time you almost murdered me. This is funniest story. Funniest story.
What are some good
Dad,
gift
we were
ideas?
hiking.
What are some good gift ideas for Father's Day? Should wives be watching this?
Oh, Glenlivet Scotch is good.
Yeah, that is a good one.
A ram would be good so that you don't have to use Isaac.
Some medium body cigars, like the Don't Tread on Me labeled ones on cigarpage.com.
Cigarpage.com.
I'll tell you what I always gave my dad is a Clive Cussler novel.
My dad loved
Pretty much
those.
every year. Dirk
Really?
Pit. Yeah.
The same.
Dirk Pit, not Joe Pit. Dirk
Look,
Pit.
I got you Sahara again.
It's Dirk Pit.
That's what I said.
I
I
said Joe Pit.
don't. Roll back the tape right now.
We'll
We'll
you
wait.
Have you have
And
a
then
brain
let's
injury.
flash back to when he was a cracker with glasses.
I'm very excited
What
for
else?
this.
I think I'm gonna get a sous. I'm
we
gonna
better
get
have a saltine around that we can.
what do you call this? I'm gonna get a sous vide probably. You know what those are?
Uh-uh.
Brandon does
An SUV?
a sous vide.
That's what I thought.
It's
know what
a
you're
it's like a it's like a
No
meat
one calls it that.
preparation. It's like a French like it's like it keeps
Is it
water
for-
at a certain temperature and then you stick the meat in there in a bag and then it keeps it at that temperature for a long time.
Oh, yeah. It's a way of cooking meat.
Sous vide.
Sous vide, I thought it was.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it is sous vide, but
I'm not familiar either.
Oh, it's cool. I'm excited.
I don't
All
even
you
know
have
what
to do-
category of thing you're talking about. Like, is this an appliance?
Yeah, it's like an appliance
Okay.
that it's like meant for barbecue and meat and all kinds of cooking you can do.
yeah, it's easy. You just build a well and then you dip the steak in it 7 times and then
I always think
done.
knives. Knives are a good present for this time. of
No,
year.
any knife that you can carry on your belt. Yeah, absolutely.
See, do
You
I
can
have
never
any?
have too many of those.
Left mine home. Dang.
Flashlights.
you can't have too many though.
Swords.
Not according to my dad.
Swords are always good.
Board games.
I like the
books.
I like the more like the event kind of like taking out for dinner, taking
Yeah,
a fishing
yeah.
trip, taking on like a boat ride or something. Something like
That's always good.
yeah.
Star Wars Day at the local ballpark.
Yeah,
Pride Night.
Yeah, going to a sport,
Going to
a
Pride
sporting
Night.
event. Yeah,
Pride night at the Flippin' Dodgers. Oh, this is gonna be my first.
I love that
Pride
you
event.
found that out live on the podcast. It makes me so happy. All right. Well, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. In the subscriber portion, we're going to read some stories from our subscribers about their fathers. So that's going to be fun.
I hope they had good fathers.
But first, hate mail. You know what fathers like? Hate mail.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
I really miss Adam Ford.
We sent out an email promoting our Father's Day shirt, lovingly rendered and sketched out by Bettina.
We can't say nice things about Bettina. She's not a father.
Oh,
Next week you can commend her.
okay. Next week, we will do that. And it said, get your dad our new Father's Day shirt before it's too late. And Barbara replied, you demented piece of rotten.
Snot.
What was that?
What is
for?
the shirt? Is the shirt offensive?
No, it's just an infographic of
It's like a drawing of a dad, and
then
it's pointing out his
pointing out
muscles and his facial hair. And
Yeah.
Just you are
And Barbara Kirkland.
Kirkland's best.
demented piece.
For what?
My
Just
question:
for that.
how did this person end up on like a mailing list?
That's my favorite part about the hate mail. It's like people replied in the newsletter when they sign up, and they're like, "Never email me again." I'm like, "What did you think you were signing up for?" I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe we're just signing up random, like we're just typing in random email addresses, hoping that
Or
we
maybe
land.
other people are signing them up as a joke.
Yeah.
By the way, I just texted my best friend to let him know that it's Pride Night on Friday.
And he responded
So
with an
how he
eggplant emoji.
responds will be we'll be telling.
He's like, "Yeah, I know.
I know.
Wink.
Why do you think I bought the tickets?
I thought you knew."
We're gonna find out.
Well, thanks for watching.
Because, oh, I was saving it as a surprise.
We're gonna find out what he says in the subscriber lounge.
I've been found out. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Fatherhood's a wonderful thing. And we're going to have some more father stories in the subscriber portion. So become a subscriber, babylonbee.com/plans, and use code podcast. 20% off. You can join us. And Travis is raising his hand. Yes?
Well, I'm sorry, I was waving.
He was waving
Oh,
goodbye.
got you. There was a very...
Well, I was doing it like the old knight in Last Crusade, where he just
When he just holds his
he
hand.
waves it.
that was the
Waves
reference.
his
like-
hand like this.
Indiana Jones only comes in and like destroys his entire place.
Yeah, but he's like 700 years old.
then he's
He's
just like,
I was
Please
wishing.
comment if you would have gotten that reference. If you saw Travis do that and you thought, oh, he's like the old knight Last Crusade.
You're strangely dressed for a night.
Coming up next, for Babylon Bee subscribers.
Southern Baptists wish God had written some kind of book telling them who can be ordained as pastor.
There's this whole category of people that only exist on Twitter, and I don't know who they are.
Okay, by the way, my buddy just said,
How did the ones before this get like 14 or 12 likes,
know,
and that one got 9? That was funny.
Funny.
yeah.
No. how do you have rules for all the other segments, but then you'll applaud a non-comedy headline pitch?
This has been another edition of the Babylon Bee podcast from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee, reminding you that an adventure is only an inconvenience rightly considered.